Coffee Club.
All right, here we go for the Coffee Club on a Friday morning, the 16th day of May, 2025. We have Jesse, Haley, Josh, and Wade. So we got two Joshers in the studio, but like you said, there's actually a Josh festival or something
in Lincoln.
In Lincoln,
everybody gets a pool noodle, and then they have a big fight.
Yeah.
But every year a kid wins, and that's just because I haven't showed up, because I don't let people win.
Is it fixed? Is it supposed to be the kid that wins?
Yeah, but I would not let that happen.
Of course you wouldn't.
Like, in today's society, you got to learn how to win and lose.
Yeah.
And so I'm the guy that makes sure people loses.
Such a prime example. So we got the guys from the Nebraska Air National Guard joining us here in studio. They were in for the Coyote Country Music Showdown yesterday, and so we invited them for the Coffee Club show this morning. Welcome. How are you guys? Huh? I probably should turn the mics on. There we go.
Oh, does it work now?
Yep, all good.
Perfect.
Coffee in hand.
Yeah.
So.
We you talk about Josh, we actually have four Joshes in our office.
No way.
They're labeled J1, J2, J3, J4.
I'm J3.
Yeah.
I came in a little late, so
Yeah.
we're hiring a new person. We probably should make sure they're named Josh.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna work out.
Is there rank entitled to this or just?
So it's just,
J1 and J2, they're master sergeants.
Yeah.
And then you got, well, actually, I'm the only one that's not master sergeant. I'm just the only tech sergeant that's a Josh. So low man on the totem pole, I guess, in there.
Is that on the horizon? Is that?
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
In the next year, so within the next year.
Yeah.
What gives us the title of master sergeant? What is that? What is that?
A lot of it is like years in service,
Right.
or how long you've been doing your job.
E7, it's the 7th enlisted rank.
Yeah. So sometimes it just takes, depending on your path in life, sometimes can take you a little longer than others to get there.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, let's talk. We'll talk about each of you guys and your journey through the Nebraska Air National Guard specifically, and talk a little recruiting. It's been a good year for recruiting.
For sure.
Yeah. We're pretty lucky. Not only is it a good year for everybody around, but I mean, our first quarter we set a record for just the Nebraska Air Guard in general.
Most accessions ever since they started counting.
Since they started counting, yeah.
Okay, so let's. Okay, how did this all come about for you?
Oh, golly. How much time do we have?
Yeah.
So I'll do a shortened version. College was expensive. I couldn't pay for it. And so after a couple years of it, I was like, well, I guess I'll join the Air Guard. And ended up joining Iowa Guard because of a certain job I wanted.
Bless you.
And then, I tell you what, it was tough.
Field.
It was tough. And then we weren't quite, I don't know if we were in the Big Ten yet, so it wasn't as bad. But we, then the Air Force decided that we didn't need F-16s in the middle of Iowa, so those went away. And I moved back over on the Nebraska side, and been doing aircraft maintenance, and then recruiting for 3 years now. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
13 years. Yeah.
All right, and for you?
So for me, mine's a little bit different. So I grew up in Texas, and I always wanted to be in the military, but I tried a couple different things, and the Air Guard is the only thing that really worked out for me, and was my way forward. So I was in Alaska. So long story there, but was in Alaska and joined the Guard up there. I've actually been in 5 different states in the Air Guard. So
wow.
Alaska, Texas, Michigan, Colorado, and now Nebraska. So I intend to stay Nebraska for a while, though.
Welcome to God's country.
Yeah. Guarding the good life over here.
That's right. Exactly.
Were you a mechanic before, or what did you do?
I was a police officer. So I was a civilian police officer, and then when I went to Alaska and got in the Guard, I did security forces, which is our military police. And so I've been doing, and I've done combat arms, which is the training and maintenance of all the weapons and stuff like that. I got to do some cool stuff there.
Well, thank you both for your service. Let's talk a little bit about the recruiting side. Like I said, it's been a good year, but we're actually going into kind of your slower time. So it means you got more time that you can spend with people if they'll reach out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we most of our school year, most of our concentrated part of our year is during the school season, just because there's a lot of people who are looking to join at that time, 17, 18 years old. And so now that school's getting out, we're, a little less on the inside of places and schools and such, but
it gives us more time to, be in the office if anybody's, wanting to set up appointments and stop by. We have, time to do that. So
yeah, well, and that's the beauty part of our job, especially in the summertime. There's people all across the state that want to meet, and so sometimes it's easier for them for a phone call, and sometimes it's like, oh, we're actually going to be out your way. We could stop by and hang out and actually do a face-to-face conversation.
Yeah, you and I have driven out to Kearney a couple times for appointments.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's doable.
It is, yeah.
Do you have more conversations with the recruits or the recruit's mom?
Oh, it depends.
Yeah.
Dad, brother, sister?
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
Yeah.
Who has more questions?
Typically the parents. I have some that for some reason like to save their questions for like the enlistment day, and then you're just like, oh man, we could have jumped over these hurdles before. Should we covered this?
Yeah, right. But by that time, usually they're pretty on board.
Sure.
What would you say is the most often asked question that you guys get specific to the Nebraska Air National Guard?
Ooh.
I mean, a lot of people want to know about deployments.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to know if they're going to deploy. And we do deploy. We do deploy in support of national missions and stuff, because we work not only for the president, but for the governor of the state of Nebraska. So we do deploy, but typically they're voluntary first. So they come down and need so many people volunteer and they go. You can be made to go, but Air Force deployments are only about 6 months, which is on the shorter end of the deployments.
And that's even the longer deployments for us. Like
there's shorter ones.
Most of maintenance, aircraft maintenance, were gone for 3 months, and in
to Guam. Yeah.
Staying in a hotel on a beach.
Tough life.
It's been rough. Yeah.
And when it comes to your guys' age range, you talked about a little bit about last night in recruiting. You start out at 17, but you guys, where do you cap it at?
As long as you enlist before your 42nd birthday.
Yeah, they just upped it to you can be 41.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have served in the military previously, they take your military time and subtract it from your age, and that's your adjusted age. Mm-hmm. So you can even join, older than 42 if you've already served for a while.
What if I did PSAs for them?
Yeah. There's a waiver for everything, as I always say.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I just want to fly a jet. It's so bad. Get me the A-10.
Probably get you on an incentive flight.
When I was in Iowa before they took away all the F-16s, my boss was like, "Oh, Kellen, I can't get you an incentive flight, but we're doing an engine run on the 2-seater." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "This is gonna be awesome."
You get to sit in there,
right? And so I got to it was not as thrilling as you would think, because it's extremely quiet.
Yeah.
And then you get to rev up the engine, and so you lunge forward a little bit, and then you lunge back, and you're like, all right, well, that was it. That was pretty cool.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, right. I probably had more fun when we towed the airplanes, because then you'd put the canopy down, and then while they're towing, you're just pretend like you're flying.
I would. Iron Eagle status right there.
Yeah.
What was the plane that really attracted you most to?
Well, I mean, my favorite plane was the SR-71, the Blackbird.
Blackbird.
But I did think it was really cool that I was going into, and that's the thing about the Guard, is you know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
We're picking a specific job, and you know what airframe you're going to work on. Where I went to basic with a lot of people who were like, I'm going to find out what I'm going to do at the end of basic for the next 4 years or 3 years. So I knew I was going to be working and launching and recovering F-16. So I mean, after the fact of getting in, I loved that, because they're loud and they're fast. This is cool. Yeah. And at our tech school, we got to actually work on some of the older Thunderbirds, and so we felt like we were part of that team. Well, we were not.
Yeah, it's F-16 for me too, but that's because I grew up. I was born in the '80s, so I grew up watching Iron Eagle. That was my favorite my favorite jet.
Wisconsin, yeah.
And when I was in Colorado, they actually that was their airframe that they had out there, so it was really cool to get to see them flying all the time.
Yeah. We'll go around. What's your favorite aircraft? Can you call it out?
Yeah,
that gray one?
No, it's the bomber. That big
B2?
old. Yeah, I don't know. It's the one
the black one.
It's got the big round nose.
The
the
stealth
big
bomber.
old tank thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I can picture it. I just
Civilians.
Tank.
can't help you.
That is the funny thing is sometimes unlike jets they have like they mistaken the extra fuel tanks as like bombs.
Bombs,
That one's
yeah.
a bomb. It's like no, it's just extra
I
fuel.
actually learned-
or somebody's
yeah.
golf bag.
Yeah, actually on the F-16s
Yeah.
they hold golf clubs.
There's
and
a
stuff,
there's a
so.
bottom container they put on the bottom, and you're like, what is that? And then you
Always thought
and
it was something special.
And then
It's
some
not-
pilot comes up and like puts their golf bag there, and they're
And
like,
that's
oh, I
important.
have to load this.
That is important.
This is my job now. I wonder where they're going.
And that's the perks. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, my favorite's probably the A10, but
yeah, I love that too.
it's just cool. Yeah.
I've got when we were in Afghanistan, we were deployed with some A10s, and those guys are pretty crazy.
Not super fast, but
no.
just an amazing aircraft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got some of the ammo guys were across the street from us, so we actually got some casings from ones that were fired over in Afghanistan. That was pretty
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. So, if people want to learn more, possibly enlist, who do they call? What do they do?
Ghostbusters.
No, yeah.
No, not this time. 402-309.
9, yep.
1218. That's the call.
It. You can call that number.
It'll
Get in
get you-
contact with our admin, and then it'll get you routed to one of our recruiters.
Yeah.
Okay. Could be you. Could be.
It could be.
What's your team like? How many you got?
So we've got 4 recruiters.
So we're going through some transition
We
right
are.
now. We've got one in school. We've got an opening right now for a new recruiter to hire. So we've got 3 of us on the street right
Yeah.
now.
So yeah,
Plus, we have what we call a recruiting retention NCO. She does retention as well, but she does a lot of recruiting as well.
yeah. So like total team is what 7 or 8,
Yeah.
and then but really only 3 recruiters to cover the entire state.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's get that phone number one more time.
402-309-1218.
Okay.
The old B-17.
Oh, the beast. Oh, yeah.
That's the one you were looking for?
Yeah.
Bubble, that makes sense now.
She's a beast.
Yeah.
Not sure I'd want to fly in one of those in today's world.
I got to fly on a B-24.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond Lil was the name of it.
Okay.
It was a radio stunt
Yeah.
years ago,
That's awesome.
but yeah, that was pretty
He
cool.
gets to do that. The only radio stunt I got to do, people had to bid to get me out of jail, and I stayed there for 3 hours.
Wow.
All right, Haley, you ready to go for our weekend poll?
Sure am. Our weekend poll this week is utensils up or down in the dishwasher.
Okay. Had the conversation with my wife last night. She says, I wouldn't know. I don't have a dishwasher.
That's a tragedy.
Ooh, talk about sticking a knife in you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I get on that.
Not handle side down either.
Yeah.
So utensils up or utensils down?
You have a drying rack, though, don't you?
Yeah.
So which way do they go in the drying rack?
I think utensils down mostly.
For me, that differs, between the drying rack and Wade and I were talking about this yesterday. So, dishwasher, everything pretty much goes down, but drying rack, the forks and spoons go down, up, and the knives go down. So,
Oh, so you're a mixed bag.
He's a mixed
yeah, for the drying rack, The dishwasher, I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it fits in the compartment, it's going down. I mean, and then I know that like my wife, she'll put certain things on the top just laying down,
And
I'm
longer
like,
stuff goes
The
up there.
longer stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. But like a small spatula, like I'll put that handle down in there if it can fit, or a pizza cutter, like I'll still put that in the little tray thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm probably, I would say 90% down,
Okay.
handle
All right.
up. Yeah.
Haley, how about you?
So I probably lived all of my childhood putting utensils up until I think it was my sister-in-law. I looked at her one day, she was filling her dishwasher, and I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, you don't put your utensils down? And I go, no. And she goes, well, it makes sense, and it's easier for you to unload it, and then you don't touch the top. And I'm like, oh, well, duh.
So you don't touch the
So
the
now I
cutting
do.
surface?
Where people-
So yes, I
Yeah.
put like your silverware down, but if it's like a bigger, like serving spoon or stuff like those go up.
Josh, how about you? Got
Same
an idea?
boat. Same boat.
Yeah.
I mean, my dishwasher, I don't know how she prefers it.
Joshua,
There we go. There it is.
Darcy, I'm sorry.
You knew that was coming, right?
Well, we don't have a dishwasher, so she's the one that washes the dishes.
Yeah.
I think in our drying rack, though, we're the same, though. Like, everything is, blade side up except for the knives.
All right, that's our weekend poll. If you want to go to our Coyote Country Facebook page, you can post your comments there, and we'll see how it works out for the week. Man, we had quite the response to last week's weekend poll, though.
That's because everybody wants that 4-way stop.
So for you guys, we have a stop downtown, and somebody ran into one of us.
The drunken hero is what he's been being
He
called.
ran into the main light and busted all the lights.
Oh no.
So the stoplight didn't work anymore, and they put up a 4-way temporarily.
So the lights used to change, and you'd have to sit there. Well, now they just blink red, and you use it as a 4-way stop.
People like that better.
The people who can work
people have spoken.
a 4-way stop.
I don't know if
The people have spoken.
we needed to,
I've been
get
in
the city
contact
council
with. I've been in contact with them.
Yeah.
So our weekend poll was to bring back the changing lights, or just to leave them flashing.
See, in my neck of the woods, they're all about roundabouts.
Yes.
and that can even be frustrating because
It takes up so much real estate.
It takes up a lot, and some people don't realize you actually still have to use your turn signal to help the next person who's coming in. So then you're not waiting there, and you're like, all right, they're not turning, and then they turn last second. You're like, I could have gone, 3 seconds ago.
Sometimes. It's
And you're like,
confusing,
oh my
roundabout.
goodness, what is this European thing that we're doing over here?
I don't know. It's like the
Next thing
metric.
is metrics.
I don't know. I
No,
can't.
no way.
That's too much.
Yeah, un-American.
And then every Thursday, you have to go counterclockwise, right? Or clockwise.
I wish that would be.
Recalibrate.
You might as well. I mean, you might as well.
Got to turn it back.
Have you ever seen somebody go the wrong way? No, okay. all right.
Straighten it out and go over
Or you
the
just
middle.
go straight through.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just
yeah.
Send it.
You just ramp over it. Yeah.
Full send. Yeah. So that's weekend poll. You can go and play along on our Coyote Country Facebook page, which, by the way, you want to see what's going on in studio. We're broadcasting this on air and also on our Facebook Live. So there you go. Next topic for the Coffee Club today: what made your childhood friends seem rich? All right, Haley, you want to start?
So the first thing that popped in my, I was trying to think back to elementary school days, and the first thing that popped into my mind was anyone who had anything girl wise. Lisa Frank.
Oh, is that like a American Doll type thing?
No.
It's like the zebra, very bright pink and stuff print.
Yeah.
On
I don't
your
know.
binders.
It was just the thing
thing,
back in good old elementary days.
What was it called?
Lisa Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a certain.
Like your trapper keeper. in
It's
your-
not like
Oh,
an
yeah.
animal print or. I don't know. I can't.
I feel like there was a zebra. But it was, it's very colorful.
Yes, it was bright pink, but anyway. Oh yeah, so it was
She's pulling up.
colorful. I mean, it was just all these colorful things.
So they seemed rich if they had that stuff?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But
All right, Josh, 5.
See, I didn't.
Oh, 5.
Because you have 4,
he's in the-
right?
Yeah, we have 4. Yeah, you're there.
J5.
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 I'll rock J5.
Love it.
Actually, I would say though, he might be technically before you.
You would.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you ought to bump me down.
Yeah, right.
Anything you can do to cut his legs out.
Yeah, just
I think for me, we had actually quite a bit of stuff, but we in our little neighborhood, we were probably the richest out of the neighborhood. And so all of our friends would come over to our house because we'd have PlayStation, Sega, all that stuff.
Sega!
And so we were probably the rich kids. But that's what I would say is when a new gaming console came out, if you had the gaming console, we flooded to your house.
Oh, yeah.
So when the Cube came out in the 64, we were flooded to our friend's house.
or it was the kids that had their birthday parties at either the roller skating rink,
Oh, yeah.
or we went as far as Grand Island to the
Destination.
water park.
Oh,
yeah.
The question we're asking is what made your childhood friends seem rich?
Now mine's going way back to when I was really little. I just remember his name was Seth, and he lived in our circle. and he one day he came out of his garage with a power wheel, and it was a motorcycle one, had 3 wheels. And I was like,
tricycle.
these are real. what is this like UFO object that just came out of this kid's house? Like, how do you afford this? Like, I'm still in my little little push one with my feet, and I was like, this is incredible. What world are we living in?
Things that only showed up on Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is nuts.
amazing.
And I was like, how do we afford this?
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Good job, I guess.
I guess.
How about you?
For me, it was the LA lights, the shoes that blink up. You know, my best friend had some of those, and I was like, man, I wish I could get those. And like, we weren't poor or anything, but I just didn't get LA lights, and I just thought that was next level.
For me, there was two, and understanding, I'm having a great awakening that I'm definitely the way oldest person in the room. But there was two. So G.I. Joe had the aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah,
The massive.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my buddies had that, and then my other friend that I just knew they were in a different tax bracket altogether had the Cobra. If you remember, G.I. Joe also had this giant Cobra
Nice.
Wow.
toy that you could play with. If I had those today, I could probably retire. Like mint in the box.
All my old Ninja Turtles are,
Yeah, right.
My brother said the Pokemon collection when we were growing up. The ones that had all the binders and stuff.
That was his rich friends.
So the question was, what made your childhood friends seem rich? On to the next topic for the coffee club here this morning, though.
One person said, I'm really old, so when my friends across the street got a colored TV.
There
Nice.
you go.
I still remember having black and white TVs. Are you more likely to be early or late? And I'll go first on this. I desire to be early, and I would say 8 times out of 10, I'm way too early. Those other 2 times, I'm really cutting it close.
Yeah, so
Is that close?
No, you don't desire to be early at all. I'd be like, oh, I have a meeting at 2:30 and 1:55 gets here, and I go, are you going to leave? I'm getting there. I got to do one thing real quick.
That does happen, yeah. Work is different than, when I got to be places. I don't know. Okay, how about you, Haley?
Always early.
Always?
Yes. Always. I cannot stand being late.
And what's your desired time to be early?
15 minutes at least.
You should be in the military.
yeah. Welcome.
Josh, how about you?
I'm early, and I desire to be early. And if we are late, I make sure everybody at the party knows that it was not me that made us late.
Well, that's only right. Yeah.
And I'm
It's
just
not
like-
my fault.
That person right there made me late.
Why are you pointing at me?
Just because you're like in front of me.
Oh, okay, nice.
But I'll put that blame on the person that is late, because I am strictly like I'll go sit in the car when I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready. I was in the car 15 minutes.
Start it up, back it out.
Let's go. Yeah.
So I am if I am leading a group of people, or I am in charge, I am hands down early. I'm waking up earlier than I need to be. I am there. But sometimes I find myself, if I'm not in charge and I'm just like another person going, it's like, and I'm in a hotel room, like, oh, I got to be down there at 6:30, and it's 6:28, and I was like, I should probably get going.
That was this
I don't know.
morning.
It was this morning.
That was
I
this
know.
morning.
Absolutely.
I was eating breakfast, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Where's Wade?"
Yeah, here I am. And I don't know why that works, but maybe it's because I'm like, well, I could just throw this stuff together real quick and go.
Yeah.
But if I'm leading people, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's 30 till and you're not here yet? What's up with that?
I'm early as well, possibly to a fault. I'm the one that gets to the airport, several hours before, much to my wife's chagrin. She, why do we have to go so early? We just sit around at the terminal. Well, because then I don't want to be late. You never know security.
never
whatever.
know.
We can sit there, and instead of
We can sit
here.
there. It's fine. Yeah, we can sit there. We can play on our phone.
It's like a good Husker game. You never know when the time's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. So.
They changed the Husker baseball game 3 times last night.
No way.
Yeah.
Weather or what?
No, just
Time change.
just because they found out that I have a show that starts at 11 and they were going to play at 11:30, so now they're going to play at 4:30. Actually, now I think it's 3.
today?
Yeah.
Final answer?
So
We don't know.
So then I have to do a complete show again. So everybody else gets their shows covered.
Yeah. In radio, sometimes you get excited when a ball game's going to happen during your show because it's kind of like a free shift off, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have 7 of them that you do a day, and you finally get an email that says, Josh, one of your shows is going to be X'd because of Huskers, you're like,
I guess I'll take that one.
You do it all that time.
And then Seth goes, hey, man, I don't know how to tell you this, but they moved the game, so you got to do your show, and I don't have to do mine now.
Love that.
I'm sure that is sweet music to your ears.
Yeah.
Next topic for the Coffee Club here is going to be a fun one, too. In what dumb way did you injure yourself? We're gonna start right here.
We would start with me.
Josh.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty dumb. So when I was living in Colorado, we lived in a split level, and it was, bedtime one night. I was playing with my son. We were doing follow the leader. I was the leader. Shouldn't probably have been the leader, but so we had the split level. We're on the top floor on the stairs. Jump down. He jumps after me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn down and go down the downstairs. I'm gonna do the same thing. When I jump off that downstairs, though, the floor for the upper level was there, and I jumped too high, and I hit it in my head with my head. I blacked out. I fell down the stairs.
Oh, no.
And my kid's screaming. My wife's coming down there. She's real worried. I'm laying on the floor. I reach up. I've got blood all over my hand. And then I try to get up, and I can't. My back is tweaked. And so my wife's, let me call 911. I said, no, don't call 911. I'll get up. She said, no. I writhed on the floor for about 20 minutes until, she was like, no, I'm done. I'm calling. So then there was the whole thing. The fire department came in, a bunch of guys, and they put me on this little thing and
They
hauled
weren't
me
good
upstairs.
looking, were they?
Yeah, they're all good looking, So hauled me up the stairs, strapped me to a board, and took me to the hospital, pumped me full of stuff. But that was, had to get staples. And that was my first time ever getting, any kind of staples or stitches.
Staples in your head?
In my head, yeah.
Oh,
Big
my.
old gash in my head. Yeah, for sure. I was down. And I think it was my birthday weekend, too. I was on top of all that, so.
How many times did you have to answer it? Now, you did what?
Yeah, it was well, so somebody took over our house when we left Colorado, and I'd say, well, this part of the ceiling is where I dented with my head, because it was kind of dented. So, yeah. That was mine.
All right.
It's great because there's multiple stories.
There are.
Yeah.
I just had to narrow it down.
That was a good one. Yeah.
That one was scarring.
The question we're asking is, in what dumb way did you injure yourself? So
I am not a plumber, and I was doing some plumbing because I have to prove that I can do things. And so I was in a little PVC plumbing pipe, but I was putting in a new sink, and it's always right after you think to yourself, you know what, there's probably a better tool for this job than this really sharp pocket knife I have to cut this PVC pipe.
Not if you're a man.
And no. And then immediately after, it slips and goes into my finger.
Oh,
and I go, and for me, if I cut myself, the cut is immediately, if it's, on my hand, it's going in my mouth. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I'm holding it there. I'm like, this is going to stop the blood. If not, it's going to go back into my body. I don't know.
Recycling, yeah.
And so, I run over, and I try not to make too much commotion. And my wife's like, what's going on? She's like, you look really pale. And I was like, nah, I'm not pale. I pull it out, and it's just, flapping there. And she's like, we should probably go to emergency care. I was like, I don't know, it's fine. I'll put a couple Band-Aids on it.
Yeah.
And then, washing it off. I'm like, this is bleeding quite a bit. It's time to go. And so, went and got some stitches, and now every time I hold a pocket knife, it's just like a little PTSD. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, I gave you one last night. You didn't want to use it.
I did. I gave it back.
Yeah,
I gave it back.
Did you got a good scar to go for it?
No.
Oh, man.
Come on, Wade.
The better one is my ice skate. I got ran over by an ice skate once, and I could have sworn I was ready to look up. I got knocked into by a little kid, and then another little kid ran over my finger, and I was like, it's over there. I know it is. I didn't even want to look at first.
Oh, no.
But it was another, I stuck my finger in my mouth, and
Of course.
And this is a younger Wade, and so I was like, I'll be fine. So 7 Band-Aids later, you get from the closet, it bled through about 3 of them. But later a nurse was like, yeah, that should have been some stitches. But it held together.
Well,
it's good now.
That's the scar.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah.
All right. Josh, what dumb way did you injure yourself?
I mean, everything that I do is kind of dumb, like in that way.
We've told the cooler story, haven't we?
The cooler story.
Oh, you injured yourself pretty insanely on a cooler.
Oh, yeah. That was last year. I have this heavy duty cooler that's like a cube, right? And it does not move. It's got grippers on the bottom. And so it was in the grass, and were we plating at that point, or were we just getting ready to get the appetizers out?
They were
I
at a
think we're getting
smoker
ready to
competition.
starting to plate stuff.
And so I was just like, oh, I gotta go get something. And I ran to my big cooler, grabbed it, and I turned around, and I was running back, and I shin kicked the cooler.
And we didn't realize, like, looking at it at first, it was like, oh, that's not that bad. Suck it up.
Yeah.
No, it was a little worse than we thought.
It was like a softball was trying to poke out my skin.
Oh my god.
And the cooler did not even move an inch.
It's a good cool. Can we get that brand name?
Yeah, right.
And so then I am like, we're trying to get stuff plated, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at my leg. And I started showing everybody, and they're like, you need to put that up. So I put my foot up, and we started putting ice on it and everything. And it was a knot in there for like 5-6 months.
Oh,
And it stayed the same size. Like it didn't move. And now I have like this brown circle in my skin of where it was. And it was like maybe like 2 months ago, it started to just like leak.
You know, MMA fighters do this on purpose, but they work up to those kicks.
And so then I started oozing. So I put a Band-Aid on it, and I talked to one of our friends who's a doctor-ish person, and they said, I'll put this cream on there, you'll be all right. And so I did, and it's fine now.
Doctor-ish.
those doctors' friends are the best.
Yeah. Doctor-ish at least.
But the one that I want to tell about my brother was we were at the YMCA here locally, and there was this group of girls. I can't remember if we knew them or if we didn't know them, but these guys were being kind of like dummies. And so my brother's like, gonna be this big bad tough guy. He's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna cannonball. I'm gonna get on there, and then I'm gonna jump off the diving board, and I'm gonna cannonball those guys and splash them for those girls. And so he did. He gets up there and he tries his best to cannonball. The only problem was his second toe stuck to the diving board. And so he had this huge gash and broke his toe.
Oh, man.
And he went into the water, and blood started pouring into the water. So
Like a scene from Jaws.
everybody had to exit. And the poor YMCA, I don't think we got him stitches. He'll have to answer if we got him stitches, if he remembers, or if we didn't. But they had to drain the pool, clean the pool, and then refill it back up, so that they were out of commission for like a couple days getting the pool back in order, because he was trying to be a big tough guy and show off for these girls.
How many stories start that way? Haley, what's the dumb way that you injured yourself?
I've never done anything crazy. I've sprained both of my ankles, but that was just volleyball.
Sports, yeah.
Yes. I did have stitches in my head, but that was when I was way younger. I went and tried to like sit on my grandparents' dog while she was sleeping, and it scared her, so she got up really fast, and I went forward and hit the counter. But other than that,
Yeah.
I guess I cut my finger once and my thumb. The thumb was I was cutting open a razor with a razor blade.
Those
my
clam
uncle goes-
packages.
Hate those.
And my uncle goes, "Be careful with that." Right after he said
pinched
it.
you.
So
Yeah.
I blame that on him.
Yeah.
And then this one on the finger was with Kyle's new fancy bread knife thing.
Brisket knife.
Oh.
Yeah, it was sharp.
Slicer.
I cut it, and I knew I immediately did it. It was a serrated one, and I knew it. And I looked down, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's not that bad." Like it.
As all
It
blood
took it a
comes out of
minute.
you.
Well, yes, it took it like a couple seconds to start bleeding, and then once it started bleeding, it came out and
She
it
was
wasn't
deep.
stopping. And I looked down and I kind of opened it up and I'm like, oh no.
You should have put the cut in your mouth. It helps.
No.
The weight method, yeah, it cleans it out.
Research. Yeah.
That's right.
And then I like got a little lightheaded and I'm like, oh no. And my son's yelling at me because I think he wanted like a snack or something. And I'm just like trying to keep it together.
Trying not to pass out.
Yes. And I'm like, oh no, I got my child at home. So I call my husband real quick and I'm like, you got to come home. Like I'm not well. He goes, what'd you do? I'm like, I cut my finger open.
With your brisket knife.
Yes.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah. So I told him after that, it's like, I'm never touching this again. You're cleaning it.
So I felt bad for her, and so that same week I cut my finger with my knife.
Yeah, solidarity.
So we were we were like twinsies. Hers was a lot deeper though than mine.
Good.
Okay, so I have two stories. I'll let you choose which one you want. I've got the cultivator story or the screwdriver story. Which one do you want?
Cultivator sounds more interesting.
It does.
Screwdriver may be more painful, though. I don't know. Cultivator?
Let's go cultivator.
Yeah.
Cultivator. I'm probably 6 or 7 years old. Got a scar to prove it. My grandfather had the cultivator in the shop there at the farm, and he was working on some different stuff. And so I'm just being a young boy. I'm running around it, and so I ran around a corner, and the cultivator was sharp enough. It slit the side of my knee open. And I didn't even feel it. And so then I'm standing there talking to Grandpa. He goes, what'd you do? And I looked down and blood was literally running into my sock.
Oh, yikes.
And so, yeah, I had to go get
Can't put that in your mouth.
stitches. No,
No, a little too far away.
if you can, you're going to win some awards somewhere. So
Oh, no.
I'll give you the screwdriver real quick, too.
Yeah.
Screwdriver, I was also pretty young, and there was a really cool thing you could do. If you grab a screwdriver by the blade end, and we had a real long one. It was like, foot long screwdriver. And if you'd grab it by the blade end and you'd throw it at the ground, it'd flip around and stick in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And which is really cool unless you're barefoot.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yikes.
And I literally, it stuck. It went through the foot.
The Phillips or flathead?
It was flathead.
Oh,
Flathead,
wow.
Don't need that star
Yeah.
exit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
We got one here.
Yeah?
It says, this is Christine Long. Mm-hmm. She said, going down a kiddie's water slide with my almost 2-year-old, broke my ankle, ended up needing a plate and screws. Doctor said it's the only type of break that you usually see in football players.
Hey,
Kitty slide.
Kiddie slide.
On a kiddie
Intense.
slide.
Intense kitty slide there.
I guess. Yeah.
Those are always fun. Wow. So, topic of, what dumb way did you injure yourself? The next one we have for you here this morning, and y'all got to be careful, I'm sure. But if you had a suggestion box at work, or do you have a suggestion box at work?
We don't. We're a pretty small office.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, I'm like, there'd probably be more suggestions from recruits that we've put in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want that.
I don't know if we want that either.
Yeah.
But I was thinking though, the gal that works with us, she buys snacks for the office, and so whenever our door is open, everyone from the entire hallway kind of comes in and peruses the snacks. And when it gets down to the last few, they usually complain about the free snacks, even though
Yeah, like
she
the selection.
buys them. Yeah.
They
She
didn't buy
likes to
them?
let them pretty much run out.
Yeah,
And so when there's
before she
like a
goes.
handful of them left, they're like, you guys are really lacking.
You guys are
on
down to the turkey
Like,
snack
these
sticks.
are
I mean, which
free.
are
Come on,
are
what are we
gross to be
doing?
fair.
Yeah.
She stopped buying those, but
She did, yeah,
I
those
think it'd be
turkey-
probably be for the snacks that they like.
Everybody's got the coworker that buys snacks, and Haley's
That's
ours.
Haley. Yeah,
Well, I'm like the mom around here,
Yeah.
I
she's
mean,
kinda-
it's definitely Josh.
caring
Yeah.
for
yeah,
3
yeah.
toddlers, essentially.
And then 2 at home.
Yeah, but I'm
Yes.
like, but listen, I'm Tommy Rugrat.
Oh, Tommy. Yeah.
I'm the leader of the shenanigans.
She buys me the fig bars, so that
Yeah.
The- what?
keeps you regular.
like fig
Yeah, it's
Newtons?
fiber. Yeah, well, no,
the
they're actually the fig
healthier
bars.
ones.
Yeah, the ones that are like all
man.
fancy, blueberry and
Yeah,
raspberry.
you should see the health.
Because I am the oldest one in our office. So
Yeah.
she likes to
Turkey
take care of me.
sticks, fig
Turkey stick. No, I
Newtons.
don't do the turkey sticks.
Well, we don't
Wade,
do turkey
yeah.
sticks anymore.
You guys don't have a Haley.
Sweet potato and kale chips. Is that what you rocking down
No,
there?
Veggie
no,
straws.
She does beef
I
jerky.
do like veggie straws.
They are good.
Yeah.
You go by like a big family size.
You
You
get
just
the
sit on the
ranch.
couch and you're just like, and you get to the end like, how did I do it? Like what?
It feels like they're healthy.
Exactly. The light and airy, go crisp to it.
And she did the whole container of the Reese's,
Oh, that was the worst.
which is you walk
would
by
think
that thing. You
would
have a
think
couple every time.
The top, unscrewing it. You know.
Yeah, but
the
somebody
guilt
left
of
the
then
top off of it.
Oh,
All right,
And then-
sidebar. Best Reese's is what?
oh, egg. I'm an egg.
Yeah,
I'd
Reese's
say
egg.
I'd say egg, yeah, because you get the most peanut butter. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm a high peanut butter ratio kind of Reese's lover. I did buy, mostly for my kids to try because I knew my wife would not like them.
With the grape.
with the grape jelly in it, and
Not my favorite.
the oldest did not like it. I said I could eat it, never would buy it again.
No.
But then my next youngest, she loved it. She was like, thumbs up,
Target
let's
market?
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Favorite Reese's?
Oh, this is not Regis.
Fast break.
Oh, fast break.
Have you had the fast break?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been a
good.
while.
Have you had the
Fast.
potato chips one? With
What?
the potato chips inside of it?
No.
Give you a little crunch?
You and I both know they're just mopping the floor and throwing
100%.
everything.
They're like, what do we got laying around here?
Where do you find one of those at?
Well, yeah, they make them and they got potato chips in the peanut butter.
There's
They got
one
a
of them
little
that's
crunch.
got like little M&Ms almost.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
And then they
Something
make them as big as this coaster now too, and they're
Isn't that the
thick,
outrageous?
the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the outrageous. That's trash compared to the nut Regis.
Yeah.
If you've never had a nut Regis, it's the kingpin of what Reese's makes.
Yeah.
The people don't know about them very much because everybody's like, every time I talk about them, I'm like, I've never heard of them. Like, just buy one, it'll change your life.
It's dangerous to ask, but
There's people that got married because of it.
Because of no
I like
races.
to use Reese's instead of I'm not a big Reese's
For
thin
s'mores?
size s'mores. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh wow,
goodness.
that's a good
okay,
idea.
hear me out.
Yeah.
Reese's and a marshmallow peep as the marshmallow.
I
Now wait a minute. If you're doing the s'mores,
Yeah.
the sugar on the outside caramelizes.
I could see where
Oh, the
that would.
s'more.
That's
probably the only way I'd do
I
a
had
peep.
too many peeps.
Dia.
That's just one.
Can't do it.
Diabetes.
That's just one.
That's what that is.
And all that red dye in there, that's
Oh yeah, yeah.
Number 40.
Yeah. Well, you better get them fast.
It's going away.
Yeah.
In case Josh 5 or Haley are
it's
itching
J5.
J5. In case one of the two of you are interested, if we had a suggestion box at work, what would be in it?
It's dangerous.
It is.
I might just plead the fifth.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Probably endless supply of snacks.
Yeah.
I would suggest for things to
4
work.
day work week.
To work.
4-day work week.
4 day work
It's
week.
gonna be-
Get a vending machine and then make it free. And so you feel like,
We don't do anything on Friday afternoons.
See, what do I want? Yep, J5.
Yeah.
the J5.
Always J5.
The outrageous
That's
Reese's going
That's
J5.
got to be J5.
Yeah,
That's got to be J5.
That's going to get you in trouble with HR.
Before we get to the birthdays and anniversaries, which, by the way, if you want to text those in, 345-5598, or you can call and talk to Haley, 345-5598. Going to play a little of Would You Rather roulette, I guess it is. So you go to wouldyourather.io, and then it'll just pop up either ors for you. So we'll do a couple of those and see what you guys think, okay? Would you rather be a lawyer or be a doctor? Which one?
Lawyer, because I like to argue.
Amen.
I think I would be a doctor because I like to problem solve.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a little more, I want to be like House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I don't do a
With
bunch
the
of stuff.
cane?
Well, why not? You probably get paid quite a bit. I'll take it.
I'd have to go lawyer because the blood and gut stuff kind of grosses me out
That too.
sometimes, So
Okay. Josh?
Oh, I could be a doctor. I got the signature for it.
chicken scratch.
I'd probably be the lawyer. So the survey says 52% said lawyer over doctor.
okay.
So,
Majority.
next one. Would you rather drink sewer water or eat food from the sewer?
Oh, God.
Ew.
I'm out.
Yeah, I don't.
Actually, I'm going to do the
probably
big
good.
water because if it's liquid, I'm way better at chugging liquid than I am at just like
That's a
eating
really
sloppy
good
food.
point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it'd have to be the water for me too. I'm not eating.
Yeah,
anything.
because you're probably looking at the same texture every time.
Yeah.
Whereas food from the sewer, it's going to be,
could be soggy bread.
man.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah.
When I was in tech school a long time ago, this guy took a bet to drink the water after we mopped the floors
Oh,
and
no.
the bays.
Ew.
Yeah, and he immediately threw up, but he made some money.
Let's see. 64% said the water. So there's that.
There we go.
Last one here, and then birthdays, anniversaries 345-5598. Would you rather be stranded in the jungle or the desert?
Jungle, 100%.
Jungle, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Morty killing eating in the jungle.
Yeah.
Watch Rambo growing up a lot.
Yeah, I would probably say jungle. You'd have to.
Well, I just think you need the water.
Well, yeah.
And there's water available in the jungle. And so that was a pretty heavy one. That was 83% said.
It's also that penal worm that
What?
if you get into the water,
I don't know.
swim up your shorts.
I'm not sure what.
I don't know. I don't know.
Stay out of the water.
There is like a penal fish
Yeah.
that just out in the Amazon that'll attack your stuff.
It's a great time to transition to birthdays.
There it is.
All right, so we got any birthdays out there? Haley, you want to start our list here today?
Yeah, called in this morning. We have a birthday for John Ladenberger, turns 12 tomorrow. And then today, I know she's not here, but Seth's girlfriend, Michaela Peltier, has a birthday today.
Aw. Do you have an age on her?
I believe she'll be 29,
Okay.
28, 29.
Josh, your birthday list.
Michelle Mitchum and Natalie Smith is what I'm adding to that.
Okay. Either of you guys know anybody?
Last Friday was my mother-in-law's birthday.
Oh,
Ruth.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any that I can think of right now.
All right, on my list, I've got Drew Tomlinson's got a birthday, Kathy Hutchins, Natalie Smith, John Spilnick, Darren Berry, and also Joan Bachman with a birthday. Any weekend birthdays for you guys?
Brady Wonderly has a birthday tomorrow.
I have Jacob Brandel has a birthday tomorrow. Also, Tim Wolf, Cindy Hamel, Nick Winder. And then Sunday, I have Tom Shoemaker, Jennifer Morgan, Don Moore. And those are it.
Match Green, Matt Eldred, Ginger Tenbensel's got a birthday this weekend. Spencer Rogers, Tom Shoemaker, Ben Egel, Amy Lester, and Megan Hodgson has got a birthday. So out of those, we got to pick somebody that's going to get our cool prizes that we give away every weekday here from Coyote Country.
A donut from Ember's Bakery, ice cream from The Scoop, a sandwich from Jimmy John's and Coca-Cola.
All right, who's getting all the prizes?
Let's go with John Ladenberger.
John, come by the radio station, pick those up anytime today or on Monday. Well, it's going to about wrap things up for Coffee Club on May 16th, 2025. As we had Josh and Wade in from the Nebraska Air National Guard. And nice to get a little trip out here, a couple days.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Right?
Always love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the best have made their way out here for this trip, right?
I would say so. And especially someone
We think so.
three times in a row. Every year I come out.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been out.
Yeah.
So if folks would like to talk to you about possibly joining up with the Nebraska Air National Guard, what's that process like?
Yeah, I mean, giving us a call is the fastest way, I would say. 402-309-1218. We do have a Facebook page as well, Nebraska Air National Guard Recruiting. So you could shoot a message over there if you're one of those people who doesn't like to call. Because those people are real.
It's true. And and then once you get in contact, we can call or text. We can do everything even remotely. Even if you live way far away from where we are, we can do everything remotely.
All right. Well, thanks for being out here, and thanks for being part of our Coyote Country Music Showdown yesterday. It was a lot of fun downtown.
Yeah, great event.
Yeah,
Great
thank
event
you guys.
every year.
There you go. That is Coffee Club, May 16th here from Hometown Family Radio's Coyote Country. Happy Weekend
Weekend
Eve.
Eve.